Hey guy, can I be honest? What do the Bengals do? I'm serious. This year was supposed to be the year. Last year, Joe Burrow got hurt. He had that ghost wrist injury, and he played this entire year basically hurt. And that kind of showed in the first half of the season. He had to shake the rust off. For the second half, he was lights out, phenomenal. As a Joe Burrow hater, I genuinely want to know what the future is for this entire team, mainly because I do feel like major moves have to be made if they want to trust Jamar Chase staying, because he has one more year after this year, and then this is going to be his contract year basically coming up this season. And with T. Higgins basically out the door, we have to ask ourselves, did the Bengals cost their Super Bowl chances by starting off slow? Now, I guess to try to go over the lore behind that, my thought process is due to the fact that the Bengals did have early success with Burrow in 2021, they used that confidence, they used that brimming bravado to just breeze through the beginning of every single season. Because if I'm not mistaken, for the past 6 or 7 seasons, from games 1 to 2, they are like 1-11, 1-12. That's not how you want to start at all a season. And we have to look at it this way, right? So Joe Burrow already got paid $50 million. Hater of me inside, he deserves that 50 mil. He puts up the stats. His team's always in contending mode. Done. Now we have to look at T. Higgins. So we have to ask ourselves, is Joe Burrow good because he's Joe Burrow, or is he good because he has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, two top 10, top 12 receivers in the league, with Jamar Chase being a top 2, top 1, right? And I pondered this question all my life, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because all three of these players are great. They're all pro status, and two of them are basically Hall of Famers. So the real question is, when will Joe Burrow be upset enough to speak out and about to the organization more than he already has? He was said to the media that he wants T. Higgins to stay no matter the cost. He'll take a team-friendly deal. He'll remove his contract money. Do whatever it takes to keep T. Higgins. I believe him, but the problem we run into that is Hendrickson has to get paid. And if your defense is such a flipping issue that you can't even score 50 points safely, then Higgins is just going to have to walk. They need to save that, 30 mil a year that they're going to give Higgins, possibly 25 mil a year, to at least like 4 or 5 other decently average defenders to give Burrow a chance to win the game for their team, right? I'm looking back at the 2 Ravens games that, in all honesty, they should have won. I hate that the Ravens won, even though I am a Lamar Jackson fan, but there are opportunities where they should have won. The Chargers game, they should have won that one as well, right? The Steelers game, they definitely should have won that one. The Patriots game. So there are a lot of games where they should have won. And there was like 1 or 2 where Joe Burrow cost them the game, but the rest was solely on his defense. So that's why they fired the defensive coordinator, just to restart the culture of the locker room. One idea I had in a previous video, I don't know if I'll put it up now or later or whatever, is add Myles Garrett to the defensive room, kick T. Higgins to the side, make Hendrickson's deal a little bit team friendly to allow Garrett to stay and run off it that way. But problem with that is, if you had the money to sign Myles Garrett, you would have signed T. Higgins anyway, so therefore that isn't going to happen. But that's the thought process on my end. So therefore, defense is going to be your number one focus if you're Cincinnati, and you should be looking at the draft even, and the Senior Bowl that just happened, to check for any talent that could fall to you. Because I think the middle of the draft, since they made it to the precipice of the playoffs, so they're not going to be any lottery picks. But it's worth noting because you can hit on a star like Hendrickson. Now, culture-wise, people were talking about firing Zach Taylor in the middle of the season for Cincinnati. I love chaos, so I said sure, but now I'm like, no, don't do it. It's at this point, we just have to find out how to get them going correctly in the early season, because they can cook, they can score, they can play, and sometimes they can defend, but they just need to start the game right. If they won one of their 4 early losses of the season, they would have been in the playoffs, and they would have played the Bills in the first round. And Burrow has a chance to blow Josh Allen out of the water, and it would have been an AFC North matchup between the Bengals and the mother flipping Ravens. But, you can't always get what you have. So what would that look like? So I feel like, number one, Joe Burrow can only take so much blame for the early season mishaps because it's just culture-wide over years. So what is going on in that facility? I heard Stephen A. Smith say you should investigate the Cincinnati for like tampering or something, for making them lose those many games that early on. It's very funny, but I don't know what's going on there. Maybe, I don't know, make them eat oatmeal instead of French fries. I have no idea what makes a team good. Make them play preseason games, because I've seen a couple players mention that since they don't take preseason too seriously, by the time the regular season comes around, it's the first week of the game, you're just still going to be rusty because you've been just sitting on the sideline all the time. Maybe get up in that action, get up to game speed. I don't know, do something, because Cincinnati, they have two very fixable solutions or problems that if they just fix them, they can go back to the Super Bowl. Stop mentioning the one that happened 4 or 5 years ago. And to summarize, very simple. Number one, get defensive culture strengthened, lockstep, so you can just get one stop at least and have Joe Burrow with the ball at the last possession of the game. Because if you give Joe Burrow the ball last possession of the game, he's going to do something amazing. He will every single time. And number two, win early games and win games you need to win. If you're heavily favored, you have to win those games. I don't know, but if you just win one or two more games this season, you're in the playoffs. So, any Burrow fans, if you're thinking about keeping T. Higgins, I'm sorry, buddy. Not gonna happen. Let me know what you think. The future is bright for you guys, but you have this year as your realistic last year, because Jamar Chase is gonna want a serious bag. He's definitely going to reset the market. Because I'm looking at Jamar Chase, I'm throwing my entire team at him to get him on my team. I don't give a I do not care. If I am like near the playoffs, I'm getting Jamar Chase. Right? He is at Justin Jefferson's level, which in my eyes is one of, if not the best receiver in the league. So this might be last year. Let me know what you think. See ya.